Welcome back to the Oddcast. I'm not Alex.
And I'm Ricky.
And we're just two odd dudes who decided to start a podcast.
Yeah, and today we're talking about Paul and my friendship. As you can see, he is not Alex.
No, I am Paul.
Alex is off on his honeymoon because he got married.
Yep.
He found himself an odd wife, which is great, and they're off celebrating in Puerto Rico, right?
Odd relationship together for the rest of their lives.
They are very odd. But yeah, so today Paul and I decided we'd just take the opportunity to talk about our friendship, how he became part of this odd group of odd dudes.
Yeah, it's definitely an odd one for sure.
So yeah, it's an odd story. But let's get to the Oddcast. So today we are, as I said, talking about Paul and my friendship, kind of how we came to know each other. I don't know if we've talked about this before on here, but
I think we did on the 10th episode, maybe. That was so long ago that I don't really remember all that.
I don't remember either. That was a long time ago. But we went to the same high school.
Yep.
And we did not really know each other in high school. We knew
of each other. Yeah.
Yeah. But now here we are. And so one of the things I did on the Oddstagram is I asked people about their high school experience, whether they liked it or not, and then also if they're willing to relive it. So we'll get to that in a bit. But first, we'll just talk about what was your experience like in high school? Did you enjoy high school? Did you not enjoy high school?
So what I remember of it,
it
was a while ago.
We're coming up on 10 years.
Yeah, next year.
We're old men.
Very old. From what I remember of it, I think our brain tries to repress like all the bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember a lot of the good things. And specifically, it was mainly just like the marching band stuff.
Okay.
So like any of the extra classes that we had to take, like I remember some of the science classes, but I mean that's about it. So I would say my high school experience was pretty good.
Yeah.
Just because I think I've probably repressed a lot of the bad stuff that happened.
In marching band though, didn't you guys have to spend like 10 hours a day?
Oh yeah, it was miserable.
But doing something.
It was definitely miserable. Marching band is not easy. Everybody thinks, oh, you're just playing an instrument. Well, it's a lot more than that. But even through that, like the camaraderie that you get, like the relationships that I built through it, and the competition, like actually competing with other people, that was fun.
Yeah.
So I even through all of the misery that you had to go through, when you get to the end, when you see the final result, it was always worth it. So
yeah, I always remember coming out of like the practice gym, after or during basketball practice or afterwards, and there'd be people out there practicing.
Yeah.
And whenever they mess up, they would be doing push-ups, which I always thought was so funny. I'm like, I guess I understood the premise of like it's like a discipline, a punishment of messing up, but at the same time, I'm like, why push-ups? Like you guys have to walk a lot, right? So like you should just make them run.
We actually called it celebrating.
Oh,
so every time you messed up, you'd have to celebrate. So 10 push-ups.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
That's like a coach thing. That like this is a good thing. Like no, it's not. We're being punished. Don't try and sugarcoat it.
Well, for the drummers, it was actually good for us because we used our arms a whole lot.
Yeah.
So
I guess that makes more sense now, like this motion.
Yeah.
But I was in high school. I never thought of like, why are they
doing push-ups?
They should just be running. Yeah, because you guys walk a lot.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
So overall, high school is a pretty good experience. Like we said, we didn't really know each other. We were in different crowds, different circles. For the most part, I enjoyed high school. I knew a lot of people. Was kind of just weird, quirky, whatever. Did my own thing. Moved from group to group kind of thing. Do you ever look back though and go, you know what? I wish I could redo this area. Is there an area that you wish you could change how you interacted, change how you, I don't know, how you portrayed yourself?
Yeah, well, I think everybody does.
Right.
There were definitely some friend groups that I knew that I didn't really appreciate at the time. and there's probably a lot of people that I wish I'd had better relationships with.
Yeah.
And I just kind of
Me particularly.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, you were the cool guy. I wasn't allowed to be friends
Zach
with you.
and I.
Yeah, you guys.
We were not cool. I was cool by proxy of Zach, and Zach was just cool because he was so weird.
Yeah, that's true.
People were like,
everybody wanted to be friends with him.
how is he so weird yet so like cool?
Yeah.
No one understood. It was like an enigma.
He was.
And I was just his best friend, so I just got pulled into that.
Yeah.
I was cool with it.
Yeah, well, the friendships that I did have, I'm very reserved with the people that I bring into my friendships. So I know that there were the people that I just like shut off. I just shut down in front of them, and I just didn't want to just give them the time of day.
Right.
And I kind of, looking back, that came off as kind of rude.
Mm-hmm.
One would say. Probably use different words for me.
Yeah. Rude is the nice way of saying it.
Rude's the nice way of saying what I want to say about myself, but I'll say rude. But yeah, no, I know I definitely didn't treat people the way that I now looking back wish I had.
Yeah.
And some of that was probably just because of the growing aspect of how we all are in high school.
Yeah.
But
High school is definitely an awkward time. So that's why I asked people on our Instagram. I asked people, we just did a poll real quick earlier today. Did you like your high school experience? And 63% of people actually said yes, which I was kind of surprised by.
Yeah.
There's a lot of negative like kind of connotation and stigma that goes with high school. But a lot of people did enjoy their time. A little over half of the people enjoyed their time in high school. And it seemed like most of the people that didn't enjoy their time, it was because they faced some sort of social pressure or bullying or those type of things, which obviously are not okay. And they're horrible things that people have to deal with.
Right.
The hard part is so many of that is outside of what you're able to even control.
Yeah.
You control how you respond to those situations, but you don't necessarily control, if someone's going to be a jerk and be a bully, like you can't control that. You can control how you respond to it and try and do the right things in that way. And so that's unfortunate. There people have negative feelings towards something like high school because of those type of things, because other people being dum-dums. But it seemed like, at least from what we saw, 63% of the people actually did enjoy, for the most part, had a positive experience of high school overall. And I'd say that was kind of my experience.
Yeah, and I would probably agree with that, just because at least through high school I didn't get bullied all that much. There were people that didn't like me and they voiced their opinions towards me, but I was never actually bullied in high school. Elementary school is a different story. I was bullied the entire way through elementary school. But no, I think that's why I enjoyed high school more than elementary school, just because of the aspect of I had new friends and I knew that they actually liked me for who I was.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things with high school too that I think is so funny is everybody. Okay, so I'm a middle school teacher now, right?
Right.
Everybody in high school thinks they are so cool, right? Like,
yeah.
And so dealing with 8th graders last year, some of them think they're super cool, and I would be like, hey, you guys aren't that cool, because whatever you think is cool right now won't be cool next year.
Right.
And like, sure, in your eyes and to your friends' eyes, maybe you're cool. But whatever it is that you're doing that makes you cool, next year won't be cool anymore. And then the things that you think are cool that you're doing to make you cool are just recycled things from years ago.
Yeah.
Right? So like you look at just fashion trends, things that are coming back, all been done before.
Yep.
You look at words that are being used, and like it's all been done before. Like hearing kids say dope is hilarious. Like, oh, that's dope. Like they're cool. And I'm like,
that's back.
I said that when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Our parents said that. Like it's not new.
Right.
Like nothing you're doing is new. It is just regurgitated from your parents' generation, and you've just changed the meaning a little bit, thinking you're like really cool. But that's the hilarious part about when you look back at high school is everyone is so awkward. Everyone's trying to be cool, trying to not be cool, and find their way by not being cool or whatever it is. But we're all trying to kind of figure out who you're going to be as you grow up. And the hilarious part about that is if you go off to college, it's all going to change again.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you
College
go get a job.
Different thing.
It's all going to change again. Like and I just like our friendship as an example of I was a basketball player, volleyball player, you know, I was in different class. We didn't have as any, you know, similar classes.
Nope.
You were doing band, and our friend group didn't really overlap. So there was no real connection point there. And then as we get older now, like we hang out all the time.
Yeah.
And I would say both of us are drastically different than who we were in high school.
Absolutely.
But a lot of those same characteristics we still have. They're just more genuine in who we are now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And we're not trying to fake it.
Right. We're not trying to impress people as much anymore.
Yeah.
We're like, whatever.
I am who I am.
Yeah. And like, I'm not trying to relive or act like what other people are saying is cool.
Yeah.
Now, like, you know, we have a 90s theme party because I want a 90s theme party, and I get, you know, pants that zip off at the knees. And I'm like, this is cool. And you know what? What's really funny about that is if you just lean into that, right? Like, this is why I think Zach was as popular as he was in our high school. You just lean into it and you're like, I'm going to do what I want. People like respect that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I asked you for my party to get those poppers, and I was like, I want to take a really dope picture.
Mm-hmm.
See, dope.
Yeah.
And did, and like, it's my favorite picture. And I'm wearing the most ridiculous outfit of all time with the most ridiculous sunglasses.
It's great though.
In front of this crazy wall that we have here.
Yeah.
And it's a great photo.
It's great.
And I'm like, I love it because it's just me. It's just like, this is who I want to portray myself as. It's just being, we're weird, we're different. But all of that is an okay thing if you just learn to kind of love that. And I wonder if more people's high school experience would have been different, even just in how other people relate to them, if they were just willing to own, this is who I am.
Who they are, and stop trying to make people like them.
Right.
Trying to get into the friend groups that aren't necessarily who they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, naturally, you and I never would have hung out in high school.
No.
Because our classes didn't overlap, and neither did our activities.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we just didn't like each other. We just didn't even have the opportunity to overlap, because anytime I wasn't doing sports, I was in the sports med room. And, you know, band kids don't typically have a lot of injuries that they have to go see the athletic trainer for.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of... No, you're right. There's... Nowadays, that everybody's got knee problems.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys march a lot, so.
I didn't have those problems back in my day.
Get those knees up real high. When you guys used to play in the stands, you got to walk up the stairs. That's dangerous. Yeah. It's a dangerous sport.
So dangerous. You got to watch out. If you miss your step and you go tumbling down the stairs with your drum on,
you'll keep going.
You will never end.
Did you ever break a drum?
I did, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We were messing around on stage, and I was just throwing drumsticks at my drum. I was just bouncing them off my drum into the stands, and yeah, ripped the head right in half. It was great.
What was your reaction? Were you terrified?
I was in shock. But yeah, I was terrified, and then I switched the drum out so that nobody knew that it was my drum.
Oh, nice. You just
ripped.
Switched with someone else.
Yeah. See, I was a bad kid in high school. I didn't want to take the blame for it.
Wasn't me. Oops.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the other question I ask people. You got to pull it up. So 63% of people... Whoa. Sound weird in my own ears now. Do I sound weird to you?
No, you sound the same.
So that sounded weird. 63% of people said that they would, or that they liked their experience in high school.
Right.
So then I ask, would you relive high school for $500,000? And 74% of people said yes.
Yes?
74% of people said they would relive high school.
Can you clarify what you mean by that?
No, I didn't mean anything. I just asked people if they would relive high school, and 74% of people said yes. A couple people asked me, like, can I make changes? And I said, yeah, I guess so. Well, but then you gotta deal with, you know, the whole understanding of how time works, and you might be messing a lot of stuff up, but you know, that's your choice. I guess.
What I meant was, like, is it like me having to relive high school now?
Yeah.
As a 28-year-old, like me just having to go back to high school?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
No, I would never do that.
What if you just had to, like in a mental state, relive those 4 years, but then at the end of that 4 years, you'd be right back where you were, and no time would have been lost.
And I couldn't change anything?
You could change stuff, but you'd still be back here. You couldn't make big changes. You could make little changes. Would you do that?
I mean, yeah, it was kind of fun. So
it's kind of fun.
I would probably do that if it was my same experience.
Right.
I would probably do it again. But if I just had to go back to high school right now, I would not. I would never do that.
Could you imagine having to go through like a first breakup again, though?
Oh.
Ugh. That'd be awful.
Yeah.
Those was not great times.
No, that was ugly crying tears.
Yeah. Or like going back to people's choice of music in high school, what they thought was cool. For so many of them, like, oh man, that'd be
playing
awful.
the same music now. It's the same people playing the same
music. I didn't
music.
listen to a lot of music in high school, so I listened to a lot more. My I guess into the end of sophomore year, I really started getting into like hip hop and stuff like that. But
yeah,
man,
I feel like every year, every dance was the same 10 songs.
Oh yeah, it still is.
It's never changed.
Well, and that's like we went to Alex and Tony's wedding, and you get songs coming on, you're hanging out, you're having a good time, and then the DJ plays a song that like half the people know.
Yeah.
And like you're kind of singing it, but you don't really know how to dance to it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we need to get rid of some of the things we do in school and like PE and figure out how to teach kids how to dance again. Oh, I wish I knew how to dance.
Same, man. I want to take dance classes.
To a bunch of different types of music.
Yeah.
Right? Because you do go to a high school dance and it's just gross, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to. There is not enough money in the world to have to go relive those.
No.
I'm out. All right. So you would go back.
I would go back if it's my same 4 years.
Yeah. What if it changed where you're at now? Would you go back?
If it changed where I'm at now? No.
Yeah.
No.
You wouldn't go back?
Because I like where I am not. Where I'm at now.
All right. That's fair enough. When I was thinking about, kind of what we talked about with Alex being gone and just me and you, one of the things I was also thinking, I was like, man, I wonder what life would have been like if we were friends. Like if we had hung out more in high school, would we have still been friends today? And I think
that's a good question.
I think me and you probably would have at some point just drifted apart and just like stopped talking.
I don't think you would have ever been friends with me just because of you being like the goody good Christian boy and me being
I wasn't too much of that in high school. I mean, a lot of people thought I was. But.
I was like the super atheist though. So like,
yeah,
I don't think we would have been close friends either way. But like if we were like, yeah, I mean, just like most high school friendships, I think it would have probably drifted apart.
Fizzle it out. How many people from high school that you were friends with in high school do you still say you're friends with today?
3. Maybe 4.
Okay. From our high school?
Yeah, but definitely 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's more than most,
That's not including you.
Yeah, because we weren't really friends in high school.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot more than most people.
Yeah, well, the band friendships kind of, I mean, when you go through stuff for 4 years together, I mean, it's probably the same thing with you and Zach. Like, you guys became really close friends because you guys played basketball together and you guys are just so mentally the same. The same thing with my friends as well.
Yeah.
But 3.
Yeah, Zach's the only one, man. He's the only one that made it out. Well, and his wife, Kristen.
Yeah, I don't think you can consider wives.
Yeah, I don't know. Kristen and I were friends before Zach and I were. We went to the same elementary school.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. We have pictures. Oh, I need to find those. We have pictures where we went on our 8th grade promotion. You do they do the dance and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we our whole group of friends. I was in that same group of friends at that point. Mm-hmm. We all went somewhere after the dance in a limo. I don't remember where, but it was somewhere in Westgate before Westgate was really cool. But I was in that group with her. And so I'm sure there's a photo somewhere where, there's a little me and all of our friend group from that time. But yeah, so I knew her in elementary school. Man, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I need to find those photos. I was looking. They're in that closet over there. You guys can't see it, but it's behind the camera right over there.
There's a closet there.
There's a closet there.
Can confirm.
There is our old yearbooks.
No, you don't have them.
Yeah, I do. I have our high school yearbooks. And you guys, little Paul is great. No beard, chubby cheeks. Is just is a sight to behold.
We're not going to talk about it.
He looks so different.
Yeah. Actually,
and I look exactly the same.
I'll
just
probably,
got a little taller.
That'll probably be the background photo for this one.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'll scan that. So if I don't think I would go back either way. Even though I enjoyed high school, I don't think I'd want to relive high school for the sole fact of if it could potentially change anything, that'd be awful. I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Because, I love my life. Got a nice house. More importantly, got a dope wife. A dog that's pretty cool. Everyone thinks he's cute, but he's kind of annoying. But you just really like where we are at, right? But one of the harder things about the idea of high school for me is just the whole aspect of like the social pressure, especially as I was trying to start to become more about my faith, and just the real turmoil that was in a high school setting.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much that you want to do to impress other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't change as you get older necessarily. You just have to figure out how you're going to be more comfortable with just being who you are, right? Like that's kind of why we started the whole podcast and call it the Oddcast, is because I've kind of learned to just love my quirkiness, and Alex the same and you the same. And that's kind of what brought us all into this friendship where we're like, whatever, we're just going to do what we want and act how we want. And, we're going to go on TikTok and shave your beard or buy Alex a towel or do dumb stuff.
I still have PTSD from
that. But like where we're at now, our friendship is actually a friendship that will last. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think there's something to say about people having to make those hard life decisions in high school, because you said you were starting to get kind of serious about it.
Right.
And those social pressures are definitely there. I think more so in high school than in college.
Yeah.
Like people say like, oh, college is where Christians start dropping out. But I think a lot of that is planted. Those seeds are planted in high school with the social pressures.
Yeah, because they're all over. And I mean, it's not just about whether it's a faith thing. It's, oh, my foot just slipped off. Just kicked everything. It's about, are you going to go to the party with the cool kids? If you get that first invite, how are you going to respond? Are you going to, if you go to the party, you're going to drink, or you're going to smoke weed, or you're going to do all these things that, you shouldn't be doing.
Right.
Just one, it's illegal, you're underage, but two, because it's just not good for you, right?
Yeah.
But there's that pressure because other people are doing it. And it's so interesting when you start to look back at like now being an old guy, 26, you look back and you go, when I go and talk to my dad about, his high school and stuff, he'd leave, sorry, Dad, going to throw you under the bus. He would leave school and leave a class and, go to the bathroom and go smoke outside, right?
Yeah.
Like nothing's changed, right? Like when we were in high school, kids would go in the bathroom and smoke.
Yep.
Right. And now like my brother and sister in the same exact high school we went to. And, what they're getting now it's a vape pen or, all these other dumb stuff. You got a Juul and all this. It's like, and finding different ways to just do things you're not supposed to because it makes you feel cool. When it's like, man, if you just sat back and were like, you know what? Who are my real friends? Who actually cares about who I am? And who's going to let me kind of lean into that and help me grow, right? Like, this is not a advertisement for, oh, you are who you are and everyone just has to take you how you are. Like, no, you should grow and get better. Like,
yeah,
but be okay with those odd qualities where you're like, yeah, I'm a band geek, or, I really like comic books, or, I love to read or watch like Alex and watch a ridiculous amount of Marvel, whatever it is. Like those are a part of who you are, but the other side of it is, you still want to grow, but your friends should know that about you.
Right.
And I think if more people knew that about each other in high school, the friendships would probably be a lot deeper.
Yeah. And stop judging people based off of the small things.
Right.
That like your likes and dislikes, like that shouldn't be anything people are judging you over.
Yeah, I think we judge those because of our insecurities about our own, like what likes, what I'm saying? Like, oh, I really like, I don't know, musicals. And you're like, well,
Disgusting.
I don't want to say that out loud. So you hear someone else likes musicals, and you're like, he's so dumb. He likes musicals. You're like,
I like them too.
yeah, I secretly like musicals. I don't. I think musicals are the worst. If you like musicals, that's cool for you, and I'm really joyful for you. I had to go see Les Miserables. Is that how you say it?
Sure, that was good.
Les Miserables. It was awful because I did not know what I was getting into.
Yeah.
It was like every time someone would stop singing, I'd be like, maybe the next person will talk normal, and it just never happened. And it was like 3 hours of that, and then I think we had graduated. Our high school drama team put on Les Miserables as a play.
Oh yeah, that was the year after we graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went and saw that.
I did too.
Awful.
It was not great.
I mean, they did a good job for a high school play. Like, there was a lot of depth, and they did a lot of stage production.
Yeah, well,
still a lot of singing.
Their stage crew.
Awful.
Their stage crew was good. I think the only two musicals that I've seen on stage that weren't part of high school was Cats.
Oh my gosh. Get out.
And Phantom of the Opera 2.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
And they're both awful.
Yeah.
So I can't say whether or not I like musicals or not, because the only two that I've ever seen were the trashiest musicals ever.
Erica made me watch Shrek the musical. It was on Netflix. I don't want to say. She'll yell at me. Okay. She really likes it.
The movies are better.
She really likes it.
Okay.
That's what I'll leave it at
there.
That. Yep.
We'll leave it there.
Okay, so here's my question to you.
I'm ready.
Let me check my phone, make sure we're good on that. If you could go back, right, and it doesn't change now.
Okay.
And you could tell your high school self one important piece of information about where you're going to end up. Not like, invest in Bitcoin or any of that stupid stuff, right? Like what about your own personal life? Like what would be the thing that you would go back and tell your high school self?
Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Okay.
And learn from those mistakes.
Yeah. What mistake particularly?
Well, it wasn't necessarily the mistakes that I made. It was my fear of making them caused me to make more of them. So I feel like if I was okay with making the mistakes and just learning from the mistakes, I would have made less of them.
Yeah.
So I think it would have helped me create more common sense faster, which I didn't necessarily start learning how to do until I was like, graduating from college.
Okay.
Like my common sense, my moral compass was kind of skewed there for a while, and I feel like it was all based off of my fear of making mistakes and my fear of failing people.
Yeah. I wow, that was hard to say, apparently. I would agree with that. Like, there's a lot of things that I think I would have tried in high school that I just didn't because I was afraid to either make a mistake or what people would say.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I really want to try that. And it's like, that's not cool to try. So I just won't try it. Or like, I don't want to look dumb. So I'm not going to try it.
Right. And I think that was probably the biggest thing. Like I cared more about what people thought of me than of me actually going and trying new things. So it stopped me from doing things that I had wanted to do just based off of fear of what people might think or fear of me failing.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a good way of looking at the world. So I've tried to change that in myself now.
Right.
But looking back, if I would have learned that earlier, sooner, I think I would have been, I don't want to say in a better place, but a more confident place.
Okay. Yeah, I do think it definitely affects your confidence.
Yeah.
What? Oh my gosh. I had a question. It just fell out of my brain. I remember.
Okay.
What class do you wish you would, like skills class, do you wish you would have taken?
Oh, mechanic. Like the
auto class?
The auto class. I know nothing about cars, and I'm a little embarrassed to say that, but I'm going to say, I already said it, so it's there.
Yeah.
I know nothing about cars. I don't know how to check my oil. The only thing I know how to do is change the tire.
All right.
and I had to learn the hard way on how to change a tire.
Yeah.
So I know nothing about cars, and it's embarrassing, and I know it's embarrassing. So I wish I would have taken an auto class.
Well, I took Auto 1, and it was the worst.
Oh, was it?
It was literally the worst because all you do in Auto 1 is change tires. You learn a lot about cars, which the teacher that taught it was awful. Sorry. I don't remember his name because it was so bad. But you learn how to change tires. But you only change tires with all of the air tools. So I'm like, this does not help me for if I'm on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to have an air compressor to just be like, hey, hang on, let me. And you're like, oh, I'll change it. And like, that's all we did the entire semester. So I didn't take Auto 2. I wish I would have because apparently you learn a lot more in Auto 2 because it's a different teacher. And I didn't know that. But so you didn't miss much in Auto 1.
Well,
you learned how to change a tire, but it wouldn't have helped you on your case where you needed to change tire because you wouldn't have had an air compressor with you.
So I changed my answer then. I'm glad I did.
You would have taken more than Auto 1.
More than that. Yeah.
I agree.
What about you?
I think I would have kept. I wish I would have kept going in Auto, because we didn't have wood shop or anything like that. But
yeah. Oh, that would have been a nice class to take.
that would have been fun. But I think Auto would have been the one that it's just so practical.
Yeah.
If I'm honest though, like I've changed oil before, like because my stepdad and I rebuilt my first car.
Okay.
And I don't know a lot about cars. He did a lot of it. I was just the help.
Yeah, the guy that held the wrench.
Yeah, I held a lot of tools and got a lot of tools, and I'd help with different things on it. But my gosh, what was I say? The hard part about all of that stuff is that even if you know how to do it, the amount of time it takes you to do it, like there's a point of diminishing return. And so like this last semester, starting the new job, the busyness was finishing school.
Right.
It was just crazy. Like there were days where, like, shout out to my mom. She's awesome. We would literally switch cars. I would make an appointment for my truck. She would go drop my truck off to get the oil change for me because I work, an hour away. And because by the time I got to work and came home, they were closed. So
okay.
I couldn't, and before I left, they were closed. And by the time I got home, they were closed. So I couldn't drop my truck off. So she had to drop my truck off for me. And then I was, working all night. So there just would have been no time for me to even change my oil.
Yeah.
And I have a big truck. So then, all that causes more issues. But,
also, his mom is really awesome.
She's the best.
She gets a double shout out because she is the best.
Shout out, Mom. Peace. Also double. I don't know why I did this. We're going to regret that and move on. Love you, Mom. So yeah, but I do wish I knew more about cars for when they break.
Right.
I don't think I would do any of the normal maintenance on my vehicle.
Like the changing out the oil and all of the
I'm just going to pay
the coolant and all that trash.
The easy stuff, I'll do, whatever. Like I can check my oil and do all that stuff. But like changing it takes too long, man.
I just wish I knew how it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you.
I look at all the parts and I'm like, I have no clue what is going on in here whatsoever.
There's a lot of moving belts.
Yeah. Like I got the belts. I'm good with that part. Other than that, no clue. I know where my battery is.
Yeah. That's good though. But I think even with all that, right? Like if I knew all that info, I wouldn't do the basic stuff just because it's not worth my time.
Right.
I'd rather pay someone. I'm just be straight.
Yeah.
But it's when things go bad that I'm like, I really wish I knew the basic diagnostics. Even if I didn't know how to fix it or didn't have the tools to fix it, then I know when I'm going to the mechanic and I'd be like, this is what's wrong. I'm pretty sure, and then I feel like I'm not getting, worked over when I go to the mechanic and they're like, it's $10,000 to fix this. And you're like, it's a $1,000 car. And they're like, yep. And you're like, all right, just get rid of the car.
Buy a new car.
But yeah, so I do wish I would have known more about auto.
Yeah.
And taken auto.
That was the one class I was like, I should have taken that one. But the wood shop, that's a close second.
The wood shop would have been cool.
That would have been a fun class.
Kids, listen to your old men, odd old men that you're listening to right now. Listen to us for a second longer. If you're still in high school, take some classes. that are going to teach you something.
Take the trades.
I know you want to take ceramics because it's an easy A. And if you really like ceramics, take ceramics. But learn something else. Learn a skill.
The trades are really good.
Pay attention in econ class.
Yeah, pay attention to econ.
Please. For the love of everything in high school, learn about our economy. It's important.
In high school, you don't think it's important.
You can't print more money. It's not how it works.
Econ's important. Finances are important. Knowing how to balance a checkbook isn't really that important.
Yeah,
anymore.
nobody does that anymore except old people because it's all online. So learn how to balance your online account.
Okay.
Have a budget.
Yeah.
What else can we say that makes it sound really old?
Gold prices.
Yeah. Invest in the stock market. Don't do that. If you have no idea what you're doing, it's just gambling and you're just going to lose money. Okay. I was going somewhere with that.
Where were you going?
I don't know.
To the auto
so
store?
Obviously in our time as friends, we've grown a lot. We didn't really start hanging out 4 years ago? 3 years ago? Oh, no, it was
2017.
It was 3 years ago. Because it's been 4 years. I've been married. It was after that.
Yeah.
Three and a half years ago. And one of the things that I think is crazy about that is just the growth that we've seen in just our friendship. Me, you, Alex, Israel. These guys, we hang out. We all hang out weekly. We're talking to each other. We're hanging out about life. We know each other. We know our quirks. We know those things. But bigger than that, we actually appreciate those things about each other.
Yeah.
And so I think if in high school we were able to do that, if more people were able to do that at a younger age, we'd actually start to see probably more health and friendships and relationships at a much younger age, because we'd start to be actually encouraging each other to go and try that thing, that you want to try. Like, hey, go take auto shop, not being like, oh, you're dumb. You want to take auto shop? You want to take art? Like, if you really want to learn how to be an artist, take art. That's great. I took art 1 and found out I knew how to draw. Nobody in my family knows how to draw. I know how to draw. I know how to paint too.
Where'd you get that from?
No idea. Just figured it out in art class, right? Like, don't take photo. Don't do it. I know he likes photo. Don't take photo, especially if they have a dark room. You're a dumb high school. You're getting all sorts of trouble.
Just
don't do it.
Don't take photo in high school. Take photo in college.
There you go.
Yeah.
The dark room was fun though, because it's so dark, but it's also scary.
It's very scary.
I didn't like it. I always felt like it was going to ruin someone's photos.
Oh, every time you open up the door?
Yeah, every time. It was so much anxiety involved in that class.
Yeah. The trades are good.
I did not like that class.
The arts are fun, but I have 3 degrees in art, so.
Yeah, nerd.
Yeah.
So high school. So what we're talking about. If you're still listening and you're a graduate from high school, go take a class. There's still classes out there.
Yeah.
Go learn something. It's so much fun. Listen, so many of us wasted our time in high school. We didn't have good experiences. And because we didn't have good experiences, you didn't join clubs. And because you didn't join clubs, you didn't meet friends. Because you didn't meet friends, you didn't go take new classes. And it just became this cycle where all you did was what you knew and what you're comfortable with, like band or basketball.
Yeah.
Right? Like, one of the best things I did in high school was play volleyball.
Yeah,
I loved it.
That got you out of your comfort zone, right?
Oh, for sure. And I started volleyball because a bunch of basketball players started playing volleyball. And then I actually liked it, and I was good at it. So then I played 3 years of varsity the next 3 years and loved it. And, met friends and different people that I was hanging out with, and it really grew me in a lot of different ways. But it was something different, right? Like, don't just go in your comfort zone. I think that's the biggest thing I learned now looking back of like, man, I wish I would have just stepped out more.
Yeah.
Like, just take the risk, try it. Who cares? People are going to laugh at you. Most likely, you're not going to be friends with them in less than 4 years, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even going to know who they are. You're going to follow them on Instagram, and you'll be like, oh, cool.
See, I was really old there for a second because I thought you were going to say Facebook.
No.
And none of them
nobody's on
Facebook
anymore. Yeah. The only reason you're on Facebook still is because, you got to stalk people that, you hear of, and you're like, oh, I got to go find their account. And all you're going to see is their profile picture because everyone's like super private on Facebook now.
Nobody posts anything anymore.
Except like memes and things that they want to potentially eat, but they're never going to actually cook. That's Facebook.
That's accurate. Yeah. That's very accurate.
I know. I'm a man of the people.
Yep.
Well, I will say I wish we had been closer in high school because
I do too.
We're good friends now.
Yeah.
We're odd dudes together. But it is wonderful to see how things kind of work out.
Yeah.
And you just never really know. We want to encourage y'all to go try something. Honestly, go take a woodshop class.
Yeah.
That'd be so much fun.
Woodshop's fun.
If you want to take a woodshop class with Paul and I,
let us know.
I'll
do it.
We'll go take it with you.
Absolutely.
Or just come on over. I've got a bunch of tools where we make cornhole boards, and you can just come make one of those with us.
Yeah, and
I'm getting really good at it.
We'll just figure out how to woodshop together.
Yeah, we just need to be careful not to cut our fingers off.
We need those.
Because Paul already only has 8 toes. He doesn't want only 8 fingers.
That's accurate.
We had to bring that up in this.
Every day.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Yep. All right. Normally, this is Alex's job. But you have to give the people some great words of wisdom.
Great words of wisdom.
Yeah. But don't bump your mic because you'll break everything.
Break everything.
Alex does that a lot.
If you're going to break everything.
Yeah.
You better do it to the best of your ability.
That was weird. Do something else. Give him something else. Related to what we were talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, I was trying to do like an Alex thing where he doesn't talk about the actual thing.
He connects it somehow. Connect it. Bring it together.
If you're in high school right now and you really want to do something, but you're afraid of what your friends are going to think of you, just do it anyway. Don't be afraid of what people think of you. There's no point in being afraid or being scared of what people think. You just go do you, figure it out, and maybe bring a couple of them along with you because you never know. Maybe they want to do it as well.
Yeah. Or get new friends.
Or, just dump them, get new friends, like some band kids. They're always down to do anything. So
just go hang out with the band kids.
They just want friends.
Be friends with you.
And if you're not in high school, if you're in college or post-college, don't be afraid to take more classes. You know that you want to learn something new. Go take a class on it. There's community colleges that will absolutely take you in and take your money to teach you something.
That's true. Everyone is willing to take your money.
Yeah. So,
that is not wrong.
Go learn something new, like woodshop or auto.
The only 2 things we could think of is a woodshop and auto.
Or
a cooking class. Or, everyone needs to eat.
Or cooking.
Nobody knows how to cook.
Or another language.
Nobody taught me how to cook. Okay, Mom, I know you're going to listen to this. You taught me somewhat how to cook. I want to be better at it. I have a Mexican grandma who just makes everything from scratch. I don't know how she does it. I wasn't even allowed in the kitchen. There's a lot of us boys, okay? When we'd go up, I'd go up and visit my grandma in New Mexico. There's like 10 of us boys. So obviously she has a small house. She'd just kick us out. We were just outside all day.
Yeah. Great
memories growing up. Until about I got to high school and then sports were everything, blah, blah. I never learned how to cook. Like my grandma knows how to cook. Maybe I'll still try and go learn. Grandma, you're not listening to this. I'm going to come learn how to cook from you. I don't know where I'm going with this. Learn how to cook. Someone learn how to cook. And then send us your food.
And if anybody knows me, they know that I don't know how to cook at all. Like Ricky knows somewhat how to cook.
I do, somewhat.
I burn everything.
And I'm willing to try. We're always willing to try in this house. Erica, I'm going to throw you on the bus. She made lasagna one time. Tasted great, except for one part. 2 noodles got stuck together. No meat, no sauce in between. It was like a chip in the middle of lasagna. Not great. We still ate it. Okay? The rest of it was good. You're going to make mistakes. Just go with it. One time, friends were over. I had 12 pounds of chicken. And I was like, I'm going to grill. I'm so good at grilling chicken. Chicken and steak. Chef kiss. First time these people are over, I get distracted for like 3 minutes, and I'm like, hey, watch the grill. I run inside. I'm washing my stuff off. I come back up. Something had caught fire at the bottom of the grill. Literally just charred like half the chicken. No one even watched. It was just smoke billowing out of the top of the grill. You know what? Mistakes happen. You know what I did? Still cooked it, cut off the charred pieces, had a great dinner. Just keep going, man. Sorry, I'm ranting.
I bought a Gordon Ramsay book. I'm gonna learn how to cook out of that.
Nice.
30-minute meals.
Nice.
We'll see how it goes.
If 30-minute meals. Every time you had to bring some over, and every time it's bad, I'm just gonna put the 2 pieces of sandwiches and say, "What are you, an idiot sandwich?"
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try. I really want to learn how to cook, so I bought that book. You should do the same.
Try a new skill. It'll be odd. It'll be weird. Just do it. Stay odd, okay? Just stay odd in your skills. That doesn't make any sense, but just do it, okay? And if you need motivation, go watch the Shia LaBeouf video where he says, just do it, okay? That is what you have to do. I don't have anything else I need to say. Do you have anything else you want to say to people?
I already gave my words of wisdom. I'm done. I'm out.
You don't get on here very often.
Nope, I'm gone.
That's it? That's all you have?
I'm done.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Alex, we're going to test you right now. We're going to see if you listen to our own podcast.
Ooh, I like this.
If you are, one, give Tony a high five, and then text Paul and I that you love us. If you're not listening to this and you don't text us that you love us, the whole world will know the next time we record.
Also, Tony, we know that you do watch it or listen to it. Don't tell Alex about this.
Don't tell him.
Don't snitch. Nobody likes to snitch.
It's got to be him. That's all we got. Thanks for listening. And remember, stay out.